So, welcome to your pick a card reading. How do they feel about you? Now, this is a little different. Normally, you can't see these cards, but I want you to focus in a very soft way, okay? Take a deep breath and center yourself. See which one of these cards, the Lovers, High Priestess, the Tower, that you are drawn to. Now, each one of these cards represents a pathway into the messages that you need just for you. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you think these tell your story or not. It's just whether it resonates with you. Do you resonate with that Lover's card? Do you resonate? Is something drawing you to that High Priestess card? Are you resonating with the Tower? I know. I am actually weirdly resonating with the Tower. And this is just where you go into soft focus. There are no right or wrong answers, but there are pathways. And each one of these represents a pathway into the messages that you need to hear. Okay, so take as long as you like, take a screenshot. We're going to be looking at all aspects of how they feel about you, this love connection, your love life, and what might be preventing you from getting what you want. What are the obstacles? What are the ways forward? Okay. I will timestamp them so that you can scooch after you've chosen which is your pathway card. You can scooch straight to it. The Lovers or the High Priestess or the Tower. Okay. I am really looking forward to this reading. It is the right time. I've changed my cloth for it. Go get yourself a drink. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. Hello, lovelies. You chose the Lovers. Okay, I love this card. There's a lot of love in the room. So, with the Lovers, it used to be called the Choice. We know this. It's an archetype of two paths which are kind of diverging. Okay? For this, we don't know if they're diverging apart, together, or parallel. We're going to use the Scarlet Rose Tarot for the body of your reading with other decks as and when required, okay? Are you with me? Let's put this at the top. I'm going to choose 3 cards from that Scarlet Rose Tarot first of all. There will be an extended reading with each of the 3 cards, with the Tower, with the High Priestess, and with this one, the Lovers. So if you get to the end of this reading and it's really resonating with you and you want to come and get freaky and do some really, really deep shadow work and channeling, that will be in the description box. You will see the link for the extended as well. Okay, I'm going to take 3 of these. I want that bottom one. I sort of thought that might come out, that one. Nice. Okay, just bring them down a bit so we can focus a bit more on those. We start with the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, of course, fire sign energy, so it could be that you're dealing with a fire sign, but more importantly, I think something got off to a quick start. So this could be how you met this person. It could be the energy around attraction with this person. Fire has the potential to do a lot of good. It can heat, it can, I mean, we wouldn't be very far without it, but it can also be quite explosive. There's 2 sides to the connection that you're asking about. One side is very driven, it's quite impetuous, and it works really well without any kind of sensible thought. So in other words, when it's good, and when it's off, it's kind of off the charts strange, like obscure and strange and mysterious. And I'm getting, we've got the Hermit in the middle. The Hermit is a very mysterious figure. So if you look at the Hermit, we've got the energy of someone who takes themselves off to the edge of society, somebody who is seeking more inner knowledge, They're looking into the lamp. They want to know what's going to happen. They want to know the depths of something. You're dealing with a person here that has, I would say, hidden depths, but I think you can see their depths. But I don't know if everybody else can. And I don't know if they even show those depths to everybody else, or if they kind of save them for your connection, which is a blessing and a bit of a curse at the same time. With the Moon card, what I'm getting for this is that you are an empath. And empaths are always very full of moon energy, full of lunar energy. It feels as if following the moon cycle would be a good thing in this particular connection, because I think that the full moons, if you can find out when the full moons are, which is very easy to do, you can just Google it or get a moon diary. Find out when the full moons are, because those are going to be definitely the deepening points of this relationship. The times when it will be easier and the universe is more open to taking it further, so that you don't have to be kind of, what I'm getting channeled to me is Sisyphus pushing a rock up the side of a mountain. And every time he gets that rock to the top, it slides back down and he starts all over again. There's something here about any kind of repetitive cycle. The moon is a cyclical card. You are a cyclical person. You operate very much in feminine energy, but also in cycle energy and not in linear energy. This is a relationship that has touch points. And instead of sort of beginning at the beginning and then going through a linear structure, almost like a book, it's a relationship that keeps coming back to touch points. And I think the touch points it comes back to are full moons. So we've known for ages that if you want to manifest, you can put stuff out on the new moon, and that definitely counts for this relationship. So if you are wanting, and this is weird, okay, because I don't normally talk about stuff like this, and those of you that have been with me a while will know, if you're wanting to make progress with this relationship, seek out the colour turquoise. I'm just getting channeled colour turquoise. I've got this lovely piece of turquoise blue silk. Might even be like, like when taffeta is shot through with another colour, so that when it turns, it has like red in it as well. So I'm getting turquoise and red for you as colours to work with. Now it may be, I'm just looking in my crystals, don't really have any turquoise. I do have red. Crystals are very personal. You may have your own, you may go to a crystal shop. Seek out turquoise for, obviously turquoise as well represents the throat chakra, and it represents communication with this person. When you get the Hermit card, somebody is in the background somehow. They are in a cave. I feel like it's quite a natural place for this person to be. I feel like you are an empath and an introvert, and they are an introvert, but of a very different kind to the introversion that you have. So you are introvert, open, feminine, soft. They are introvert, masculine, and I get flint. Flint. Now, I think, and I could be wrong because by God, I'm not a scientist, but I think that flint is how you start fire, isn't it? Is that right? Like rubbing pieces of flint together. But that's what I'm getting, making rocks spark. I'm just going to have a look, rubbing flint together. This is really important for you. It's a channeled message. Yep. Okay. With flint and steel, loads and loads of stuff is just coming on how to make a fire with a flint stone. Now, I can tell you now that's channeled because honest to God, you could put me in the woods and I'm not going to make a fire unless you give me a box of like matches or a cigarette lighter because yeah, that's me. Right. Okay. God, this is a really deep connection. It's like this cave is quite womb-like. The moon is lunar energy. I'm getting channeled for you as well. You are all womb in some way, which is quite interesting, isn't it? It feels as if you are very healing energy. And they are needing to be healed. Now, it doesn't always mean, and I hope it doesn't mean, that you need to rush round and heal this person. Let's take another couple of cards. It's very interesting. Like, we've got fire with the lamp of the Hermit, but the Knight of Wands is like open fire. And I'm also getting open fire and closed fire. What's that all about? Oh yeah, get on. The Empress. So this person sees you as divine feminine wisdom. Now, you might not guess that from their communication because their communication is flint. It's sharp in a way. It's cold sometimes. It's the opposite. The Lovers, opposites. It's the opposite of you and your. I mean, the Empress, Venus, and divine feminine energy. It's like all four queens put together. Plus, you've got the moon. These two cards are how this person sees you and the energy that you exchange with this person. These two cards are the other person that you're asking about. The Knight of Wands and the Hermit. The person who actually is quite capable and has the desire. This person has had the desire to push forward with you very urgently sometimes. And I think they snuff it out. Now, I don't know if they overthink, if they talk themselves out of it. Fire as an element, very interesting. I'm getting kind of water as, oh my God, actual massive goosebumps. Right. Fan me down. You get the Emperor. Now, you know, especially if you do tarot, getting the Emperor and the Empress, even in the same reading, is a big deal. Okay, it is a big deal. Getting them next to each other, cripes, makes me Australian. Okay. Well, makes me try and sound like an Australian. I have to always apologise to all my lovely Australian friends. Okay. Flyman Rose. I can't stop saying that. Okay. Empress, Emperor. Feminine energy, masculine energy. You are chalk and cheese. It's such an attraction. You probably have an idea of this because you were attracted to the Lovers card. And the Lovers is also about major arcana, bold decisions. And it's about testing whether you are ready for a bold move, okay? I think the person that you're asking about here has contemplated a bold move. Let's just put these up here because I'm going to take more cards. They've contemplated a bold move. These two are counterparts, but they're slightly facing away from each other as well. Okay, tell us about this bold move, please. Tell us about this bold move. Drop a comment as well. Let me know your star sign, because I've got a theory about the star signs that this is resonating with, and I want to know. Well, that's a bit of a clue right there. Okay, we get the Chariot. Yeah, the Chariot, not in this deck actually, but in nearly every other deck. There's two horses going in different directions. It has the same sort of energy as the Lovers, and in fact it is the next card on, isn't it? So the Lovers has this twin energy. Are we almost like twin flame energy, or are we almost like star-crossed lovers, you know, that we can't quite get there, even though we feel we should, that everything else feels lit. The Chariot comes when you battle with this. Two horses going in different directions, and I think you're at a stage with this person where you've got two horses in different directions, and that's a very interesting stage to be at, because it's a stage of energy creation. So energy is being created, but you don't yet know how it's going to be executed, how it's going to be put into motion. So this person has extreme feelings. They're either completely shut down or completely up for it. Oof. God, you're getting a lot of major arcanas. You get the Chariot, you get the Hanged Man. Yes. Okay. There may have been several significant pauses in the timeline of your relationship. It's going through cycles. It's not going through the timeline. Okay, let me try and put that better. It's going through cycles, which means it kind of repeats itself. It's a bit like Ouroboros, the snake whose tail is in its mouth. The end is in the beginning is in the end. What you need to avoid with this relationship is on again and off again, because there would always be a tendency to want to put it down and pick it back up again. And that might be on both sides. And it may be because of the intensity of when it's intense, and also the lack of intensity when this person shuts down. Hanged Man energy is telling you, that, 10 of Wands. If you feel yourself in a hurry with this particular connection, be wary of being in a hurry, because hurry is not going to be your best friend, okay? When we get the Empress, we've also got the Mother and the Father of the Tarot. We've got what about the Mother, we've got what about the Father. What I'm getting here, which is really quite deep and quite weird and quite interesting, is what about their mother, how they were brought up, and your father, and how you were brought up around divine masculine. And weirdly, the energies of their mother bringing them up and how that was, and your father and his part of influencing you and your experience of the divine masculine are interacting with each other now. I know. How much does that twist your melon? Because it twists mine. This person is a complicated person. You are a complicated person. There's complexity all over this. There's also masculine and feminine. this relationship, and this may be agreeable or not agreeable to you, this relationship works at its best when the masculine energy person is taking on the masculine energy role and the feminine energy person is taking on the feminine energy role. Okay. Both of you carry a burden from your parents. And with you, I feel like it's from your father. And with them, I feel like it's from their mother. And sometimes it kind of skips a generation to resolve itself. And it happens nowhere more than in close personal relationships. King of Pentacles, this is nice. So this person has a desire to offer you something more solid than what they've been offering you so far. The King of Pentacles is a wonderful card to get because the King of Pentacles is about showing up, being actually physically there, being tangible, having something to bring to the table. This person wants to be able to do that for you, but there has been delay in that happening. Yeah. Six of Swords. There's something here about, and you may be in a bit of a, I'm going to say sticky spot with this person, yeah, you may be in a bit of a tricky spot right now with this person in terms of communication, in terms of connection. The Six of Swords is saying you have to move forward. You can't go back. Even to the point that it might not even be worth raking back over the past and having conversations about the past. The person you're dealing with has a really strong desire to look forwards and to not look back and to not be careful. For good or for bad, you know, I don't know if it's good or bad. It's just they don't want to be careful. There's a desire to move away from difficulty. They don't want, so I think this is a person that grew up in a house that maybe had rows or tension. And they are very, very, very sensitive to that. Probably too sensitive to that. Then we get the Eight of Wands, which is fantastic. The Eight of Wands is a card of communication. It's a card of momentum. So there is something here about, let me just get rid of me so you can see that card, about being able to have a conversation with this person. And I think the opportunities to have an actual conversation uninterrupted with this person have been a bit fleeting for some reason. And it may just be the way that it's worked out, the universe, whatever. There's been trickiness around that, which may have been really frustrating for you. But again, with the Hanged Man energy, always accept that any delays in this particular connection are probably going to go in your favour, even though that feels really frustrating at the time. Goodness. Let's take a couple of these Love Oracle cards. I think I have an idea of what card I think you might get, but I'll be interested to see. Oh my God, that is not what I thought you were going to get. Woohoo! Okay. Apology. Wow. That's interesting. With the Knight of Wands, that will be a clumsy apology, not particularly well planned, but hey. Charisma. Charisma is about people being drawn to you. This person is drawn to you. You may have recently had like a glow up or just a boost in your own confidence. And it feels like they've noticed, even if they've not seen you. Woof. And secrets. Okay. That may link in with the apology if there's something they hadn't told you, and also with the Eight of Wands, which is about somebody talking, somebody communicating. Okay, to sum this up, God, however we can, you and this person have deep-rooted masculine and feminine energy, and there is an interplay between those two energies where you're bringing generational shadow work, I suppose, into your current connection. This person is usually kind of blundering into it with a lot of fire or shutting down. And there's a kind of a pattern emerging there. You are feminine energy, open, soft, healing person. There may have been an overextension in your energy, and this person wants to apologize, but also there are things you do not yet know. You recently have acquired a more kind of positive energy, and they've sensed it because you are very connected to this person in the 5D. They've sensed it and it brings them forward. Good grief, lovers. Right, in the extended reading, I am going to do some channeling about detail, particularly getting details that will help you in terms of timing, in terms of certain objects, and more about, you know, the colour, the turquoise, the chakras, the signs. We will also look at the secrets part, the shadow part, anything that is stopping this, blocking this, and how to move through those blocks in the best way to make the best progress that you can. Okay? The link for the extended is in the description box. I'm going to go and do that right now. I'm going to go and choose my decks. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. You chose the High Priestess. Very mysterious, this card. Mysterious, this one. Okay, I'm feeling that those of you that chose this one would have been very, very, very drawn to this. Maybe slightly drawn to the Lovers as well, and that will all become clear later on. Okay, so High Priestess. We are going to use the Ethereal Romance Tarot for you as our main deck. Okay? It seems to really fit the High Priestess vibe. And we're going to look how they feel about you, what's going on with this person, any channeled messages we can get, details, vibes, anything, any details to help you move forward in your situation, to understand better and to go deeper, because the High Priestess is an extremely deep individual. There's a lot of feminine energy. There's just a lot of psychic depth. Okay, so I have a feeling we're going to be going into quite a lot of psychic depth with this particular card. Okay, so I'm going to take some cards first from the Ethereal Romance Tarot. There will be an extended reading, so those of you that get to the end of this and it really resonates, you can come and do some like freaky channeling with me, and we'll be looking into more of the shadow side and just anything that's come up that we like, wormholes that we want to disappear down. Okay, the link for that will always be in the description box. What do we need to know, please, about the High Priestess? Interesting. I'll bring these cards closer to the camera as well. Oh, we've got 4 cards. Oh my God, that's really weird. First card we get is the Six of Swords. I like the Six of Swords because there's always somebody accompanying you in the boat. In other words, there's somebody who wants to see you get to the other side. And that's quite important. There's something here about protection. I don't know if it's that the person you're dealing with feels particularly protective over you, or whether the universe has kind of got your back with this and is feeling protective. We're going to look at that, okay? I love that you get the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is the king, Mr. Reliable. I mean, it's just the king that shows up. It's the king that does what they say they're going to do. They keep their promises. It's a lovely energy to get. So this, I feel, I can feel a lot of gentleness. It feels like a gentle energy I'm getting for your person. They feel like a gentle soul, a quiet person. Maybe if you asked your friends, they would laugh at that as well. I'm not saying they're traditionally quiet, but they're a quiet soul. For some reason, I'm getting that feeling that you get, and I remember this from being younger, when you're reading a really good book on your own and you go into that almost slightly trance-like state, which is a very nice state to be in, where you're completely immersed in something. And that's the energy at the moment I'm getting for your person. But then we get the moon. Now, the High Priestess and the moon, these are friends, you know. The High Priestess and the moon are almost one and the same. Divine feminine energy, but taken to such a deeper level with the High Priestess. So, the moon, obviously there's Neptune, there's Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio going on here. But there's also mystery. Normally the King of Pentacles does not come across as very mysterious. But we are using the Ethereal Love Tarot, okay? I'm getting a sense of mystery about your person, and I don't know why. It's almost glamorous. You know how you have, like with sort of the royal family, where they have a sense of mystique. Mystique, that's what I'm getting. Mystique. Like old movie star energy back in the day. You know, when there used to be that enormous amount of glamour. Maybe it's in like the sort of 40s and 50s or 20s and 30s. I don't know. I'm not good with old films, to be honest. It's not my bag. But I'm getting kind of old movie star vibes. Classic, some sort of classic vibes. But then we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is a card about someone who finds it really hard to talk about their emotions. I sometimes refer to this as the emotionally constipated card. I know, it's not a very nice way of putting it, but it gets the message across. It's when somebody is stuck. I feel like the person you're dealing with is stuck at a certain level when it comes to expressing their feelings. This may be immensely frustrating to you, because I feel like as the High Priestess, you're picking up on some very protective vibes. And this person at times as well may want to kind of check in on you about certain things. They want to take care of you, but at the same time there's a distance and a mystique that seems to be slightly in opposition to that. Okay. The Four of Pentacles is someone who can take care of business, they take care of life, but they don't, and also I think they struggle with that, weirdly. Normally when you get the Four of Pentacles, it's the message that someone can take care of business. Let me take a couple more. Your person is complicated. Your person is complex. You're dealing with someone who is complex. Oh my God. That's not complex. That's the Two of Cups. Okay. I don't feel like they've revealed that to you though, yet. And this is eerie. Okay, well, yeah. I'll leave it till the end, that bit, because it will spoil it if you've watched the other one. Okay. the Hermit and the Two of Cups. Right, Two of Cups, Venus in Cancer. The gorgeous relationship card, isn't it? It's the you put the phone down first card. It's we are exchanging cups. We are two equals. It's the love card. It's the card you want. Zippity doo dah. Yes. Straight into the Hermit. A cloaked figure. Talk about mystery. Okay. There's something about this person you don't yet know about. That's one thing. I'm getting some sort of realization that you haven't yet had, which is very counterintuitive because you're the High Priestess. So you might be known as the one among your friends who is the kind of, you know, has all the spidey senses. And yet, when it comes to this person, they fail you, they leave you, you can't work them out. It feels like there's some sort of a block on your intuition about this person that isn't there with anybody else. And I don't even think in past relationships that block has been there for you either. How annoying. Right, okay. To be fair, when you get the Hermit, a person keeps themselves to themselves in some way. You know, hermits do that. They go off to caves. They go off to the edge of society. They're not exactly inviting everyone round for a bender. You know, it's just not the way it goes with the Hermit. So part of the reason you're not connecting, I think, with this person as easily as you should be is because they keep it covered. They don't talk about their feelings easily. But I would go further than that. I would go further than that to say they cover up their feelings. They cover them up. Okay. Five of Cups. This is a person who has dealt with loss in their life. Okay. Not just a loss of people. I'm just going to pull this curtain, by the way, and see. That's better. It's a funny day today. It's one of those days where it's like that. It's kind of all light and all not light. And as soon as you pull the curtain, it all comes out again. So this is a person, I'll just do that, who has dealt with loss, okay? And they've dealt with separation. They may have been separated from their parents for some reason. They may have some kind of origin story that involves loss. There's something about, they find it very difficult to trust people. Very, very difficult to trust people. Frustratingly difficult, I think. Okay. Yeah, Seven of Wands. Okay, Mars in Leo, the Seven of Wands. This is a person who has built a wall around their heart, around their existence. They may not even tell you everything about their past. The stuff about their past they have not disclosed. They have not told you. And what I just got channeled is they may never tell you. They may never tell you about that. But they wear it like a shield. And I feel like, you know, High Priestess, you can sense it because the High Priestess is the High Priestess. But also, I'm also getting that you may get frustrated and angry because you sort of know. You sort of know their feelings, but you're not hearing them out loud, and you're not going to go around like a lunatic guessing them. Okay. Three of Wands. This is a great card to get. So the Three of Wands is what we get when we're sort of standing. There's always someone looking over at the horizon. They feel like there is energy here. They feel like there is attraction. They feel like there is something that can be followed. Okay, Three of Wands, it can be built on. It's fire, it's attraction, it's something going somewhere. But I reckon with this person that just as it goes, just as you feel like you're getting somewhere, they stop. Two of Cups, just as you feel like you're moving towards almost your target, they stop. Almost with sort of breathtaking ability to sense just when you relax and think, yeah, we've got this. Then they withdraw in some way. They're a very private person, but they may appear very public. Ten of Wands, yeah. They carry a psychological burden that they have not shared with you, which is difficult because as the High Priestess, you sense that you can help this person. In some ways, you're right. In other ways, they don't want your help. Doesn't mean they don't want you, but they don't want your help. Four of Swords. Nice card. Take a step back. Take a step back. It won't perhaps be natural to you. Again, I'm getting Divine Feminine Energy with the High Priestess card. And Divine Feminine Energy, I mean, what do we want to do is wrap our arms around somebody and bring them in. You know, of course, you want to meld. You want them to know that you have empathy, that you understand, that you actually, in some cases, you feel their pain. And that's not very easy for you to kind of walk around with. It's strange. You feel their pain. They want to protect you. They want to protect you from their pain. I feel there's shame in here as well. I feel like they're ashamed of their past. It may be that they've had some really, like a succession of meaningless relationships or one-night stands, or just that they maybe not behaved that brilliantly in the past with people. They're ashamed of that. But the root of their shame goes back a lot further than that. And they're right. It's not your job to fix them. If you catch yourself wanting to lean forward and fix this person, you need to lean back, because you will lose doing that. I'm just being really dead straight with you. Whether it's the right thing to do or whatever, it won't work. And we're here for things that work, and that won't work. And also, it muddies your waters for your intuition. And I don't know why, but it does. We got the Five of Swords, Venus in Aquarius. When you get the Five of Swords, this is a person, again, who finds it difficult to talk about their feelings. And also, and this is quite an important decision, I think, for you to make, High Priestess people. It's whether you can accept that you may never know the real them. They might always demand authenticity from you. And in terms of, you know, things being equal, that's not really fair. You know, if we're talking measuring it in some scales of who's revealing what, you know, you're being vulnerable, they're not being vulnerable. No, that's not fair. And I can understand that that might bother you a lot. But I think it's really, and I think you can sense this as well as a High Priestess person, the hurt that dominates their life and their behaviour to a certain extent, the fear, and I would say there is sort of, I think it's more complicated than just saying there's a fear of abandonment, but there's a fear, certainly, and fear dominates their life and why they do what they do and why they behave in the way that they behave. If you were to crack the code, as it were, they'd run away. And I don't know how you'd feel about that. In other words, if it ever comes out of the box, you might want to just put it back in. I don't know if they would survive that and still be able to be with you. This is a really strange energy, and you may have already come across it with this person, but you would sort of become the key bearer and almost the witness, and there wouldn't be room for a relationship. So if you feel that you want this to become something, to be something, to develop further, your inclination is going to be to move towards this person, to merge with this person, to help this person, to be a partner to this person. And I'm, of course, those are all laudable, natural and beautiful things. They will not work. And it's whether you feel you can give this the distance that it needs at the moment. Distance will work. I know, it's annoying, it's frustrating, but I'm just being honest with you because that's what comes up. They will respond to distance, and I don't mean manipulative distance, because that just doesn't work for very long, but I'm talking genuine psychological distance. Also, that's very sweet, we get the Page of Wands. I feel like this person has a very young energy. They're stuck at a young age, like 8 or something, or 9. This person would be very comfortable with attending to you. If you give this some space, they will want to give you attention. They will want to protect you. They won't want that in return. And it's whether you can be in receiving mode. King of Pentacles always wants to give. And whether you can happily receive what this person has to offer without really being able to give it back in the way that you're used to doing. Of course, it doesn't mean that you can't ever give to this person. But the times when you sort of overextend yourself, when you feel that you really want to move towards this person, like if you send them a very emotional text message or very, very vulnerable, you know, it's quite, even like with lots of like love emojis in it and stuff like that, this person will get overwhelmed. They don't trust that. They trust distance. And I'm not saying you've got to keep them at arm's length all the time, because by God, where would we be with that? But there needs to be a healthy dose of distance in terms of you staying in your identity and them staying in theirs. Let me take a couple of Ocean Oracle cards. Very interesting. This is very... I can see that you could be quite hung up on this. You may have been talking to your friends a lot. Yes, look. You get red algae, inner turmoil. Yeah. And it will also depend. Like if you're a water sign, you're going to find this easier than if you're a fire sign, for example. Oh, I like these. These are very powerful together. Okay. Let's have a look at these. We get red algae, inner turmoil, okay? This could cause you frustration and anger. Be careful about that, because in those times when you are least measured, you're most likely to blurt, and that will push this person away. And again, you don't, obviously it's your choice whether you want to be with this person or not. If it doesn't suit your personality, if you need a good blurt, this is not the person for you. Okay, let's just get that out there right now. Squid, you have a lot more power in this connection than you know you have, but it's a sort of a reserved power. And seagulls, opportunities await. There's a lot for you and this person. You have a lot for each other. You have the Two of Cups up here. You have the potential for partnership, but the way into it is a little different. It's like a bit of a diversion in a road. Okay, you can't just go straight at it. Really, really important. In the extended reading, I'm going to look at how to do that, how to do that diversion, how to take that roundabout route, and how to not set this off so that it takes that person further away, but draws you closer. So I'll look at some cards again about your person, about the complex nature of your person, and also about taking that diversionary route, the best way to deal with this, the best way forward for you, because that's really important if you really want to connect. Okay? So if you want to join me for the extended reading, the link is in the description box. I'm going to go and do that right now. I'm going to go and choose my decks. Oh, yes. And I think we'll be digging deep and channeling with this one. And I will see you on the other side. Namaste. Hello, you chose the Tower. Good for you. I was hoping some of you would choose the Tower. I think this is going to be an incredibly interesting reading. Stay tuned. Okay. So, how do they feel about you in this wild, kind of electric, chaotic, but also very deep feeling, powerful card of the Tower? That is your pathway into this. We're going to look at how they feel about you, what's going on with this person, what's the shadow side, okay? What is the best way forward? And any kind of detail that we can get that will just help you make sense of it. Okay, there'll be an extended reading. If this really resonates with you at the end, that will be in the description box. There's a link for the extended in there. Okay, oof. We're using the Urban Graffiti Tarot to start with. Interesting. Already, I know yours is going to be a really interesting reading. It's kind of the reward you get for choosing the Tower. Wow, okay. The energy of someone who is a bit lost is coming out here. So, God, I've been dealing with the sun all day, by the way. Let me just do that. And then I can put it back if I need to. This is somebody who you may already be in separation with, or you're having difficulties definitely with connection with this person. We've got the Four of Cups, which is, it's a card of keeping your emotions kind of hidden, but also being almost an emotional neutral or pretending to be. And I don't know why I'm getting pretending to be an emotional neutral. That's an unusual thing to get. Five of Cups, someone who is regretting something. So we've got a sense of regret, a sense of remorse. So you may have had like a bust up with this person, or some kind of showdown, argument, or even you've sort of drifted into something. I guess with the Tower, that is the energy of some kind of, you know, it's Pluto, it's sort of sudden news, sudden shock, a blow up, you know, that kind of thing. And then we get the Page of Swords, which is the most junior of the sword cards. It's about communication. We've got the sword, but it's at its very beginning. So you can get this, and I'm getting channeled for you, somebody texting and then deleting their text messages before they send them to you. So this is the energy of somebody who wants to talk. They want to say something. They want to come across with something, and then they don't. And this might have been a feature of the relationship before, or it might just be that you are suddenly not getting anything from this person, that they suddenly switched. Let's take some more cards. King of Wands, very attractive. King of Wands is always very attractive. Almost got the energy of the celebrity, the King of Wands. I'm getting loads now. So I'm getting Temperance with the Ace of Pentacles together, okay? So there's something here about the energy of your relationship it feels like it's kind of burst out of something. And it feels like there's a lot of attraction, okay? There's a lot of physical attraction. There's a lot of chemistry. If you're wondering if this person finds you attractive, yes. Let's answer that one. If it's a healthy level of attraction, I don't know yet, if I'm honest. But you're not in the friend zone. Let's just put it that way. You're a long way from the friend zone. And you too may find this person quite irresistible, very attractive. There's something here about making it real. The Ace of Pentacles is a card of getting real. Is this tangible? At the moment, this relationship, for some reason, I just get kind of, it's all over the sky. It's all, I suppose, up in the air. And we're looking for what we can bring down to the 3D. Can it work in the 3D? Very interesting. This is not a kind of energy that I've seen. Oh my God. Okay. Why am I surprised? The Tower. The Tower for the Tower. That's very interesting. Okay. There may be Scorpio energy around this. This may be coming up in a particular kind of Scorpio, like Scorpio season, or a moon in Scorpio or something like that. Or of course you or they may have Scorpio in your chart. Okay. And this is weird. The way they feel about you at night is different from the way they feel about you in the day. If you are wanting to resolve something with this person, or you want to have a conversation with this person, nighttime is a better time to have it when it's dark. As long as it's safe, obviously, and you know this person well. Night forces are definitely here for this. And this is weird. Very, very interesting. Okay. Now I'm going to use a different deck along with it. I'm going to use another quite towerish deck, the Cyber Tarot. Okay. I'm very interested that you have two towers here just speaking to each other. It's almost like Tower of the Night, Tower of the Day, almost. This is a really, yeah. Okay, I'm going to take a couple more. Oh my God, that's, yeah. So we have another Ace of Pentacles. This relationship is being seriously tested. Oh, that's very nice to get. The Sun. It's being almost rocked. So it may be that you've had an argument or that something has come in from the outside that has really upset the apple cart. But what it's doing is it's making you completely examine something. And what I'm getting channeled is almost, and this is dead weird as well, like a football that's made of, like someone's made a sphere. And then it gets dropped and it goes into pieces and you're piecing it back together again. But in piecing it back together again, you're getting to look at the little parts and what makes what fit and what fits and what doesn't. God. It's very important because the person that you're dealing with may not be very grounded as a person. And that's exciting, and their energy is exciting, okay? But being grounded is very, very important at this stage that you're at with this person. Finding a sense of perspective and also finding a sense of reality. There is a lot of, there may have been a lot of difficulty in sensing what's real and what's not in this relationship. It's mind-blowing. And I kind of get that. I can feel like, honestly, I can feel a heat coming off these cards. It could be that the chemistry is simply so chicka that it absolutely just knocks any kind of sensible thought that you might have out of the window, you know, which is exciting. It is. It's really exciting. But it's also, yeah, you want it to be on the right side of exciting. You get the Sun, and that's beautiful energy. You might be dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, or someone who behaves like one. The King of Wands behaves like one. Someone who, they're kind of happy in their own skin in lots of ways, but they're unpredictable. And that unpredictability is attractive. And however you slice or dice it, as humans, we do find unpredictability attractive. Maybe not forever, but for a time we do. And this person's unpredictability does make them attractive. It makes them kind of more mysterious. The Sun is a beautiful card though. It's the energy of, I think you're going to be able to see. You're going to be able to see, whereas before you couldn't. Nine of Wands. This is a person who has an enormous defense system. They may come across quite casual. They may come across to their friends or people at work or whatever as somebody who is quite careless, you know, that they are quite chilled and they don't have loads of boundaries and that they don't get het up about stuff. Absolute baloney. They do a lot. They have such a fortress here with this Nine of Wands. You must have been like tearing your hair out about this person. I totally get that. Let's have some more graffiti tarot. I'm going to mix these two in together. Just for a few of you as well, this might be a person that you watched a lot of films with, or that you share, or I'm getting kind of like Blade Runner, those sorts of films. Films that are very iconic, but also maybe sci-fi, fantasy, maybe books. Sci-fi, fantasy, dystopia, zombies, all of those sorts of, that, it's weird. Hang on. Yeah. I think that's them. I think that's their background, their interest. And then the moon, I think that's you. I'm getting moon maiden. You're as weird as they are, but in a really different way. In that you are able to interpret this person and intuit what's going on better than other people. They find you fascinating, and usually it's people finding them fascinating. But they find you fascinating for reasons they just cannot express properly. They don't get it. They don't get you at the moment, and that's making you attractive to them. You know, Moon Maiden, it's a very kind of mysterious thing. You could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or you could be just, I suppose it's an awful word, but very spiritual. They think of you as that you have your finger on a divine pulse and they like it. Nice. Okay, we get the Fool. If you are in the middle of a breakup at the moment with this person, they've got their sights set on another go round. You know, the Fool is the beginning of a cycle. It's like, let's do this. Let's take an adventure. We both know that this is like pretty charged, but at the same time, I want this. You want this. Let's do this. I'm noticing that you also have the sun and the moon together in a reading. Some of your sort of hotspots with this person and this connection could have happened around times of eclipses. So do have a look, go back and look at eclipses and when they occurred, because they have a real bearing on your relationship, and they always will. And definitely if this is going into, next year, have a look at the eclipse cycles and what signs they're in and when they are, because they probably mark big shifting points for you with this person. Then we get the Eight of Swords. Yeah. This is a person who can very much get trapped in their head and finds it really hard to access their heart. A place that I think you are much more comfortable with. This is a person that when you are together with this person, you're almost their spiritual mouthpiece, their emotional mouthpiece. And it's weird. I'm getting like they almost use you as a medium to speak through, but also to speak to you. This is a relationship that may have lots and lots of signs and symbols going on. Things where you're getting stuff in your dreams, but you're also getting stuff in your waking life, films, books, songs, lyrics, artifacts, trinkets. God, I'm getting so much weird stuff for you. Jewelry, and I suppose I'd call it a spiritual shop, a shop of some kind. Actually, I'm getting the old-fashioned when you used to go into a shop and it used to go ding to tell the owner that you were there. There may be a shop in your family, there may be a shop in their family, or you met them in a shop, or there's something to do with a shop. How weird is that? Okay. Your connection with this person at times is bizarre. The 5D element of it is huge. There could be incredible coincidences, like you knew each other when you were little, or you were in the same place at the same time, or you have some sort of friend connection with them that is really bizarre, but you haven't found it out yet. This is why it's really important to be able to ground this. You've got two aces of pentacles here. Both of you need to be able to ground yourselves if this is going to be successful. This person has so many thoughts in their head. They may be creative, you may be creative, you may be artists, photographers, or just some kind of alternative medium of something. They need to ground themselves in order to meet you down here, and you need to ground yourself in order to be on the ground when they get there. You're both 5D people in incredibly different ways, but in quite complementary ways. They see you as, I got the word spooky, but it's not spooky as in, you know, haunting. Well, no, you may haunt their visions. You may haunt their dreams, even if you're not speaking. You may make sure you do, you know, you might have those sorts of abilities, which is good and exciting. You have the ability to really haunt each other. Don't ever work together. Okay. Signs, symbols, numbers, the whole bit. Whatever your kind of weird shtick is, you and this person will experience that together. I mean, God, I would want to invite you both round for dinner party. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely do I. Because you're going to be so freaking entertaining. If you are the quieter type, or they seem like they are, that's not the case. Or this isn't the reading for you. It may just be that it doesn't resonate with you. Because even if you're an introvert, and I think you might be, actually both of you, weirdly, I'm not saying that you're party animal extroverts at all. Your stuff comes out in mysterious ways, coded ways, poetry, art, signs, symbols, films, books. The medium is the message, is what I'm getting. God. Whew. Cripes. Yeah, let's take a couple of oracle cards. And your extended reading, if I last that long, I'm gonna actually use some of the Mystical Maidens deck, which is where this tower came from. Because I feel like that marries these two together so well. You get sacrifice. Love may come with sacrifices. Evaluate what you're willing to give up, okay? This is a very powerful connection, but you need to be careful with it, or you could lose yourself. God. Wedding. Taking things to the next level. Can be a literal wedding. It can be a joining of forces. Oh, yeah. Connection, I'll say, but very electrical. Okay, wow. Goodness me. In the extended reading, yeah, I'm going to look at that tower. I'm going to look at the shadow side of this, because your shadow side is your power with this, actually. Not something to run from. It's the power of it, the guts of it. I'm going to look at the guts of the relationship. What would be the pitfalls and how not to fall into them? Okay, that will be what I'm looking at in the and also some more cards about your person, but that's my focus in the extended reading. Okay, if you want to join me over there, the link is in the description box. And if I have not melted, you will see me over there. Whew. See you on the other side. Namaste.